What is going on, guys? It has been a minute once again. I apologize for the disruption of all the vlogs and even the technique videos, but this channel has much needed some attention. I'm about to give it to you guys. Welcome to the vlog. Welcome back. Union Martial Arts. It's been such a crazy couple weeks, month maybe, since the last time I vlogged or I got a chance to speak with you guys. If you guys didn't know, we introduced a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program, so that's been on fire as of late. And just business has been doing very, very well. I wanted to take this time to talk to you guys. Number one, to thank you guys for continuing to watch my videos and as well support the team. And on top of just being dope as human beings, I want to thank you guys for being patient with this channel and giving me the feedback on what you guys want to see, because even though this channel is... I gotta sneeze. Even though this channel is technically mine, I do want to post things that you guys enjoy, and I want to be able to answer questions that you guys have. So I apologize if I don't get to answer everyone in the comments, but I will be trying to vlog more frequently in order to answer your questions and incorporate those into the vlogs. I also want to take this a little more personal, bring you guys outside of the gym and see all of the crazy things that I do on a weekly basis to keep this business running. And if you guys are new to this channel, I own and operate Union Martial Arts. I have a couple of helpers, but really this, call it a startup if you will, this has really been the evolution of a passion that started in my teacher's basement home. So first thing I want you guys to be updated on, number one, we have the Blade Concepts. So that is the next cycle of FMACONCEPTS, our online teaching site here at Union Martial Arts. We have it all finalized. We're actually in the process of filming. And so with that being said, there will be a little less technique videos being produced because we are going to prioritize finishing that up and getting it all done, edited, and online for you guys to enjoy as soon as possible. I don't have an exact date yet. I will update you guys. If not on this channel, I will update you guys on Union Martial Arts' Instagram or FMACONCEPTS Instagram or my personal Instagram. So make sure you follow all three of those links in the description box. Thank you very much. But what I am aiming for is that it'll all be done and online for you guys by the end of May. It's gonna be a super busy month, as always. There's always something going on in this gym. There's always something, you know, to prioritize, and it kind of pushes certain things back. And again, I apologize because I know a lot of you have been asking for the Blade Concepts as soon as FMACONCEPTS came out, and we asked what would you like us to do next, but it's coming. Second thing I want you guys to know is if you guys are in the area, once again, like I mentioned earlier, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program, it's honestly been a blast having Adam here teaching and being able to build onto our team of highly dedicated and passionate instructors here, and just more so have that holy trinity of martial arts here: striking, weapons, and grappling. So if you guys are in the area and you guys are interested in training with us, please book your free trial on unionmartialarts.ca. For all of our new students going into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program, the gi is included. That's like $100 you're about to save. So make sure you book your trial, get in before the slots fill up, and the gis will not be reserved for you anymore. Before I go into the topic of the vlog, which is going to be a little bit more business, and hopefully this will answer some questions you guys have, I want to show you guys a little bit about the uniforms we wear in class. It's a little different at the same time. It's, you know, kind of standard for what you will find. So I want to show you the variations and a couple of the things that I enjoy about it, and as well as my personal collection of what I wear. All right, so I don't have a good place to put this camera down, but what I will show you, so on my rack here, I got my 4 main uniforms that I wear. Some of them are just for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some of them are for our Quintile or our karate classes here, and then I have my official or formal uniform for Kali. So obviously, if you guys are new to martial arts, a lot of traditional systems or styles, I would say, have a uniform. Number one, uniforms aren't to me a fashion show. It's more so to unify and to have that team spirit and to have everyone on equal terms. And that's one of the things I stress to my students and people as well getting into martial arts. You know, the uniform is something to make everyone equal. It's something to show that we're in this together. It's something to show the bond that you have with your classmates, your teachers. With that being said, we're gonna start all the way on this left side here. So this is my Quintile uniform. It's a standard gi. In Bias Tres Manos, our Filipino martial arts system, normally we wear a black top and red pants. As a head instructor and as a maestro, I'm able to wear a combination of all red. And it's kind of significant because with this particular uniform, not this exact one, but this setup was actually the uniform that I first saw my instructor wear when I first started martial arts. And alternatively, in both the Quintile and the Kali class, we'll still wear the red pants, but then I would wear the academy shirt. You might have seen it in a lot of the videos. It's just a black shirt with the Union Martial Arts logo across the chest. That's usually for the hotter days, or if I know we're gonna do like bag work. The gi itself, this one is considered middleweight, so it's pretty light, but it still gets super hot in there. And when you're teaching for, 3-4 hours a day, that's a lot of laundry to do. So moving on, I'm gonna skip these two for now, but going to this one here, this is the one I wear the least. So if you guys have any background in Filipino martial arts, you'll know that there is not one set uniform. A lot of people don't have uniform. It's just one of those things that have not been unified for good reasons. Because, number one, a lot of people in Philippines either can't afford a uniform or they don't care. They worry more about the skill. But then you do have one that is fairly popular amongst many systems and many schools. And that one is kind of said to be the uniform, but it's not like an official uniform like a karate gi or like a taekwondo gi or even a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gi. So this one here, same concept. I'm allowed to wear the red top, so we have the Bias Tres Manos patch on that. And then we also have our two flags. So we have the Canadian flag, we have the Filipino flag. This one does not have the Union Martial Arts one because I think it's a little overkill with more than two patches. But I get to wear a red top. My students would be wearing a black version of it, which I also have somewhere in the closet. But number one, with all of that uniform formalities, a lot of my students train in both classes, the Quintile and the Kali, especially the younger ones. It's hard to produce that locally because no one knows what the heck it is. So to have a supplier in even Canada is really difficult to find, and to have it on order the way that I do with all these other gis because of all, the influx of students coming in weekly and monthly. I kind of formalized the Kali uniform to just be the academy shirt as well as the red pants along with the sash of your current rank. So I would wear this red top for gradings regardless if my students have it or not. And I would wear it on seminars if my instructor requested so, or his instructor, Grand Maestro John Bias, who's the head of the system, requested everyone be in formal uniform. So as per Adam, in relation with Master Silvio Bering, we are under Bering Jiu-Jitsu. The white gi is the starter gi. He wants everyone to have it formal, especially for gradings, for seminars. Doesn't want it to be a fashion show. So everyone will start off with a white gi. I myself have a white gi. If you guys don't know the difference between like a karate gi versus a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gi or a judo gi, the material itself, and I'll try to get a little closer so you can see the difference. It's very, very much thicker as opposed to a middleweight of my karate gi, as well as you'll see the lapels on the actual gi. It's super, super thick because you will have a lot of sleeve grips, collar grips, and you'll do a lot of pulling. So obviously with a lighter material, it's more likely to rip. But I have a white one, and this guy I just picked up today. I have a blue one to alternate because, man, do you sweat in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And those gis get hella dirty, hella sweaty. So training twice a week. Every week I want to make sure I have one per day But one of the coolest things about all of these uniforms, before I talk too long about them, it started as my Quintile gi before we had Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here. And we'd have the Union Martial Arts patch on the side of the right arm, just above the tricep, underneath the shoulder. And that's something that my students would have that any other Bias Tres Manos students wouldn't have, because they are specifically students here at Union Martial Arts. So I wanted to carry that tradition onto the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gis. And so you can see that on the blue one and on the white one, I have our actual patch stitched on as well in the same area. And the idea is that when we have a school event where we have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu students, Kali students, Quintile students, all in uniform, if we all line up together, you look like we're on the same team. We all have that patch. We're all part of the same family, even though we practice different martial arts. All right, guys, so I have 5 key tips that I can share with you guys through my experience. And hopefully these tips are gonna help you guys continue to build on your path to being, you know, an entrepreneur, or starting your own gym, your own online coaching, whatever it might be. If you guys already know this, then it'd be a good refresher. It's nice to hear, you know, advice or things you already know from another voice to give you that justification that things are doing well. But I got 5 of them, and excuse my micro writing, so what I'm gonna do is I'll hold it up, you guys can print screen it, and then I'll go into the talks about it. So these are my 5 tips right here that I'm sharing with you guys. Number 1, know your worth. Number 2, no emotional decisions. Number 3, presentation is key. Number 4, understand your market. And number 5, of course, patience and timing. So I'm just gonna set this down here. We're back at the front office as we get ready to teach tonight. Myself and Adam. Adam would be hopping in a little bit later. So number 1, know your worth. I think this is the most important thing when it comes to running a business, when it comes to even a lot of life lessons. If you don't know your worth, and this is not, you know, a reflection of what you feel, but what you know, so to say, based off of industry standard, based off what you provide, and with all those things said and done, your worth is what's going to keep you together. Ultimately, this thing that you do is going to be your lifeline. It's going to be, at least in the beginning, if you don't have any other ventures or any other work, this is going to be what provides for you, your family, your kids, your, you know, what pays your bills, what keeps the light on, your livelihood. And if you're very desperate to get in students and members or clients, that you're willing to sacrifice that, then you're going to continue to stay on that route. And it's very difficult to convince a member who's paying, let's say, $20 when you're worth $50 to jump that extra 30 for nothing at all. So it's better to start off on the high note. It's better to be able to know your worth, be confident in your worth, and make sure that not only do you know it, but you portray it in your service, in your abilities, and you have that confidence that you're not asking for too much. Obviously, there is a borderline where you're kind of ridiculous, but that is obviously industry specific, as well as clientele specific, which we'll touch base in one of the later numbers over here. But very, very important, your worth is what's going to be the backbone to your entire business. So number 2, no emotional decisions. This one's very, very important, especially when it comes to martial arts businesses. If you are also the instructor, which odds are you will be, if a student is not, you know, progressing as well as you want them to, if a student quits and decides to do something else, it's very important that you don't let your personal emotions, of course, no one likes hearing or seeing a student walk away, because number 1, you lose business, but number 2, you lose all that time you invest in a student. If you let those things shine, then you kind of start crossing the martial artist versus businessman gray area, which is a very ugly place to be in. Remember that as much as you would love everyone to stick around forever, things happen, people change. You know, you do your best to retain students, you do your best to have a system, a product that people want to continuously enjoy, but like I said, things will change. So don't let that get to you. There's always going to be more students out there. There's always going to be, you know, the option of building students, and that's honestly the name of the game. Student acquisition, student retention are the two biggest issues of a lot of schools. So you have to really understand it on a business perspective without any emotions, because that's going to really upset yourself. It's going to get to you. It's going to lower your work ethic, but at the same time, that's going to rub off to your students where they don't feel as comfortable with you. And usually, if you have that relationship, the positive side, you can talk to students and you might be able to retain them, or you might be able to understand why they're doing it. And sometimes it's for the best of them, and sometimes stuff happens. Number 3, presentation is key. So that is the presentation of your gym, the presentation of your lessons, the presentation of you. If you come into the gym, if you come into your clients and you look like you just rolled out of bed, you haven't shaved in like 5 months unless you have a dope ass beard, which I can't grow. If you walk in with dirty joggers that you wear to paint, and you walk in with all those things are a reflection of you. And to be honest, one of the things that I tell my staff as well is, if you look dirty, odds are your gym is dirty too. No matter how, clean and well-maintained the place can be, you are a reflection of the business, especially if you're sitting at the top. So take the extra time to comb your hair, take the extra time to shave, to clean yourself up, make sure your uniforms are neat, make sure, you're not presenting yourself as some wannabe a-hole, or you're not coming off as a prick. And you want to make sure that you stay professional. You want to make sure that you speak to students of all different races, genders, backgrounds to the highest degree. And you want to not only do that for yourself, but also with your gym. Mop the mat, sweep the floors, vacuum, wipe down the seats, clean the washrooms. And you can even take that a step further by, making sure that the place is aesthetically pleasing, and making sure that you take the extra time to understand what students would like to see. And it's not that, the TV in the corner is going to be the selling point, but it does help the overall presentation to show that you understand what you're doing and you're a professional. That's why you can offer things above and beyond. Now, of course, you have to get to the point where you can, budget that into your daily or monthly financial plan, but you don't just want to be in the middle of nowhere in a custy, dirty box with mats. Unfortunately, some people don't have the option to, but that's part of scaling a business, where you might have to start somewhere like that. But if you can maintain that as best as possible, and you're able to, slowly but surely add a chair at a time, a picture at a time, it's going to go a long way. Whoops, my bad. My vlogging camera died because I haven't used it in so long. I'm recording this off of my phone. Probably looks better. But anyways, I just want to wrap this up so I can get this video to you guys. Number 4, understanding your market. So of course, different cities, different towns have different clientele. They have, even different price ranges depending on where you are. So you really have to understand that in order to know what price point would be the best middle point for not only your worth, and also what people can actually afford. So let's just say you're worth $200, because to be honest with you guys, martial arts instructors are worth way more than what they charge. The years of knowledge, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears they put into being able to teach an hour class is worth way more than what industry standard is. But anyways, you have to be able to, number 1, attract those customers, because if you're charging something that no one can afford, then where are your students going to come from? The thing with physical locations is you only have a set amount of reach you can do. Someone from the other side of the province, sorry, I'm Canadian, so from the other side of the province or state isn't going to drive all the way every other day just to train with you, because you're cool. You might have some students that do that. I personally have a few students that are way far, but majority of my students are local to the actual academy. If you're looking at an online coaching or online teaching or things of that nature, you have to understand that the marketing in which you provide and the marketing that you are producing is intended for the people who would most likely enjoy your product. highly recommend to everyone, if you aren't already, take advantage of social media. It's honestly a game changer for a lot of businesses now. And that's why you see, the uprising of entrepreneurs, because it's so accessible for people to not only obtain the information, the knowledge, but also to be able to share their product without having to go through so many different middlemen. And your product can go straight from manufacturer to consumer, and you don't need, that Walmart or that, I don't know, Toys R Us in order to sell a product. And with that being said, for me personally, a lot of parents that are enrolling their kids are technically, or not technically, they're technologically, savvy. They use, if not Instagram, they use Facebook, or, and that's where they'll see ads or they'll see postings. How many people do you know watch YouTube? So it's part of understanding the game, understanding the playing field of business now. It's not just, newspaper ads and handouts. I'm not saying those aren't effective. This is just from my experience that majority of my students and the influx of students I get is because of you guys who watch the videos, or it's also for people who visit, our Instagram page, or who tune into us on Facebook when we post things about these videos. So definitely take advantage of that. It's very easy to learn. To get good at it takes some time, but everyone starts somewhere. So now is better than never. And I guarantee you're going to see, if you are consistent, steady, and you trust in the process, you will see a dramatic increase in your business, in your clientele, and in your, range of customers. Number 5, this can be iffy. I would put 5 on at 1, to be honest, but I don't want this to be too much about you. I want this to be about, things you can put on paper, so to say. So number 5 is patience and timing. This is a long game. If you want a business to truly succeed, it's going to take months, years, especially if you don't have that financial startup in the beginning where you can start investing in big units or in, fancier equipment off the get-go and have that money to pay for marketing. You're gonna have to slowly build your way up, but it's that constant grind and that constant hustle that's what it's gonna get you there. And eventually, if you continue to do good, if you continue to believe in yourself and share your message, share the greatness of your product, of your service, good things will happen. Timing is truly everything, guys. If I reach this point in any other, area of my life, if I reached this point a year ago, if I reached this point, when I first started the business, I would definitely have failed. It takes a lot of mistakes. It takes a lot of growth, not only personally, but, the business has to grow, and it helps you understand things, helps you understand how you can scale the business. And even on the darkest days when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you've had the same amount of students for the last 6 months, to me, honestly, it's almost like you can take it as it's time to give up, or if you're truly passionate, you can take it as, man, I had 6 months to practice. I had 6 months to get better. I had 6 months to find a reason how I can bring these people in. And sometimes time is the biggest lesson for you guys. So those two things are very crucial to any business, to anything you really work towards. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to, something worthwhile, something that is sustained, it's not going to be built in a day. So you got to stick with it. You got to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the growth of your business. But at the end of it all, you have to make sure that you're putting in the work to get it to that next level. And like I said earlier, guys, if you do those things in good time, when it's right, when the light shines on you, great things will happen to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you were able to take these tips, and maybe if you are already doing them, nice to relight the candle, so to say. If these are new to you, then you guys can put it into fruition today, right now. So if you guys did enjoy that, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for me, please. I do appreciate you guys consistently watching my videos. Make sure you comment below if you have any other questions. FMA Concepts soon, guys, I promise you. Stay up to date with me on my social media. And until next time, catch you guys there.